grace, tongue-tied and stuttering. Calm down, I'm waiting. Let's run to someday, but without a word, somehow you know. Ain't that just beautiful? Catching every green light, oh, we can do this all night long. Like, give me that heart if you want it to break. Let me be honest, believe you're the one in a million mistakes. Ain't that beautiful? Well, come on, believe me, I can't stop. I love somebody, ain't that just beautiful? Don't let that scare you. No one believes a single word you say. I like the way you think. Let's take this all the way. I'm tired of waiting, cause this feels like something. Whoa. Tell me I don't make it so. Ain't that just beautiful? Catching every green light, oh, we can do this all night long. Give me that heart if you want it to break. Let me be honest, believe you're the one in a million mistakes. It ain't that beautiful. Come on. Why don't you try me? I thought this all your ways, stones in that water. Don't look down, it's further than you think. You got that style and grace, tongue-tied and stuttering. Calm down, I'm waiting. Let's run to someday, but without a word, somehow you know. Ain't that just beautiful? Catching every green light, oh, we can do this all night long. Like, give me that heart if you want it to break. Let me be honest, believe you're the one in a million mistakes. Ain't that beautiful? Well, come on, believe me, I can't stop. I love somebody, ain't that just beautiful? Don't let that scare you. No one believes a single word you say. I like the way you think. Let's take this all the way. I'm tired of waiting, cause this feels like something. Whoa. Tell me I don't make it so. Ain't that just beautiful? Catching every green light, oh, we can do this all night long. Give me that heart if you want it to break. Let me be honest, believe you're the one in a million mistakes. It ain't that beautiful. Come on. Why don't you try me? I thought this all your ways, stones in that water. Don't look down, it's further than you think. You got that style and grace, tongue-tied and stuttering. Calm down, I'm waiting. Let's run to someday, but without a word, somehow you know. Ain't that just beautiful? Catching every green light, oh, we can do this all night long. Like, give me that heart on. Why don't you try me? I throw this all your way, stones in that water. Don't look down, it's further than you think. You got that style and grace, tongue-tied and stuttering. Calm down, I'm waiting. Let's run to someday, but
I think we've just gone live.
Have we?
I'm not too sure. Oh,
Yeah, we have.
Have we? Well, hi Bex.
Hi, I don't know when we went live, and I don't know why I look weird.
That was on me. That was on me. I pressed the wrong button. I was trying to edit and it didn't work, and it would have been weird to go back to the starting screen.
Okay.
Happy what day is it? Happy Tuesday, Bex.
Happy Tuesday.
We're-
Why do I look so weird, can I ask?
We're back here
Not
again.
gonna lie.
I mean, you're in control of your own camera.
No, I don't mean that. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, we're back here again on a Tuesday. We were episode 2 of the Bitchin' Hour. How are you feeling?
Amazing. How are you feeling?
I'm quite good, you know. I'm in a good little mood today. I woke up on the right side of the bed. For
What's the wrong
once.
side?
The wrong side is the side that if I have to roll a bit too far over and fall out, then that's the wrong side. And that's most days. So, but yeah, anyway, how are you?
You've already asked me that. Are you okay tonight?
I might be on my second drink. But yeah,
That
anyway.
explains a lot.
Yeah,
That
it is.
explains a hell of a lot. yeah.
Already got someone in the chat, Insubordinate. Love the name. Welcome.
Hey,
Welcome.
and thank you for the follow.
Yeah, thank you for the follow.
Mm.
So yeah, we're back here again. We have some interesting things that we're going to speak about today. Try and get a little bit more interaction. We had really good interaction last time, but we're trying to get a little bit
We did.
more interaction from our viewers if we have anyone in the chat. Obviously, anyone else. But
So
yeah,
do not hesitate to comment because we love
do
it.
not hesitate. We want all the interaction tonight.
We just dribbled.
yeah.
That's going well.
What?
Never mind.
Maybe not.
I'm having one of them nights as well, I think.
That is what we want. We want reactions as well. So that's always a great thing. Thank you, Deuce. And Bearded Piercer. Hey! Thank you. Everyone's
Hello,
in the
Bearded
chat
Piercer.
tonight.
They are.
Welcome. Woo! Thanks for the follow.
Oh,
Why do
okay.
I always look so over enthusiastic and you're like, hi?
Because it's a little bit behind for me. I don't really know what's going on. Also, my camera is really, really bugging me, but I'll get through it. I'm not fully
It's
in the
probably
screen.
bugging a few other people as well, but it's fine.
Yeah, so it's not my fault. I'm not in control. That's all I'm saying. I love you, Bams.
Ah, love you too.
So,
And thanks to Jade for following as well. Hey, JD.
thank you, unicorn.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's just start off. Have you got anything that you just want to get off your chest this week? I know it's not a proper segment. Anything you just want to bitch about, just very briefly? Consider it's the bitching hour.
Right now, I'm actually okay. I don't have anything that comes to mind. It's been really hard for me to bitch over the last few days.
That's good.
Because I've been in an alright mood. Except for this dog of mine. Just keeps doing laps
Hey, babies.
of the room because she wants attention. You've had attention all day. But yeah, apart from that, yeah. Anyway, should we get down to it? Unless there's anything you want to get off your chest.
You already know everything, and I think most of the people in the chat do. So we'll leave
Yeah.
that. We'll leave my drama for one night and let everyone get over that.
All
because,
the podcast drama. Yeah.
all the podcast drama.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to begin?
Right, yeah. So
Happy
our
with that.
first little segment that we were going to talk about is chest to chest. Yeah. Is regarding online dating. So me and Bex spoke about this because we've both had experiences with this, haven't we?
We have very different ones,
Very,
actually.
very different ones. So we're gonna kind of talk about this, the pros and cons. Sorry, my dog's drinking her water. If you can hear anything splish splashing in the background. Um,
We can't. We can't. Well, I can't.
but yeah, so it's a bit of a different, obviously pros and cons. Have a look at, the ins and outs to it, maybe little stories that we could probably go over if anyone in the chat has got any stories from online dating as well, and just discuss that and maybe have a little bitch about it as well because that's what we love to do.
We love to bitch. So go on then. Let's start off with just some general opinions. What's your general opinion of
General opinion on
online
online
dating?
dating. I feel like we are living in a day and age now, where I mean, it's not difficult, but it's hard to get a bit of face-to-face human interaction straight away because
Very true.
a lot of people are glued to technology. Whether it is a phone in their hand, whether they're on a computer, iPad, whatever it is, you speak to most of your people that you know or whatever online anyway. If you work from home, you speak to people online,
True.
through working, like Teams and things like that.
Yeah, that's another point as well, actually,
Exactly.
just while you're on it, because a lot of people maybe met from work, which probably doesn't happen
Which is,
anymore.
yeah,
Yeah,
like I said,
that's still
you know,
online, isn't it?
it is like Zoom, Teams, whatever it is. But yeah, so online dating, you've got all of these apps now, websites. You get adverts every left, right, and centre. Where you look, there's always
Mm.
dating.com, match.com. There's Hinge, Tinder. There's loads, and I've probably been on a good handful of them over my last
Okay.
how many years of dating life.
Mhm.
And pros
More
and
briefly
cons,
for me, but
I've come from it. There've been good experiences, and then there's been really weird experiences, and then there's been bad experiences. You, however, have obviously not had a lot
as
of,
much exposure.
yeah, a lot of exposure. Um, no, to answer your question. But yeah, it's it's a bit of, yeah. Go on. So you tell me what you think. Obviously, what's your opinion? Before we help Deuce with his Tinder profile later.
Yeah, we'll give you some really good advice.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
one of the biggest pieces of advice, depending on which dating app you go on, do so I would probably say is if it's on Tinder, random pictures of you catching fish seems to be a big thing.
Big fish.
And if you're on Hinge, go in for hikes and a Sunday dinner. That's all Hinge is. It appears to be.
Yeah,
So a lot of people who like hikes.
yeah,
So if you want to be on Hinge, just
yeah.
hike.
Just go
Picture of
for a
yourself
walk.
with a dog. Doesn't have to be your dog.
It could just be a
Just a
dog.
dog. The biggest tin of tuna. Do that. That's
Yeah,
more
do it.
original. But there's something about a guy with a fish that just really doesn't turn me on for some reason.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean,
but no, I
each
tried
their
it. It
own.
was a while ago for me when I tried it, and it was during lockdown. So I suppose that was the only sort of form
That well, that was a lot for
of dating
a
that
lot
I
of people.
could have
Yeah.
done. Some experiences with like video chat dates, which was nice because you only had to dress up from the top up.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. You don't even have to wear any
but
pants. You
I
could just,
mean, I didn't.
yeah.
Not to make it
Doesn't
weird,
surprise
but
me.
I just didn't wear any pants. Just you have to make sure to remember not to stand up. That's the only problem.
Oh, damn it. That's
I
the
think
best
it could
part.
be a good thing, and I actually know a few success stories out of
Yeah,
online dating.
yeah.
I think the problem is with online dating for women specifically, and women in the chat, if you've ever done it, please let me know. There was a comedy sketch I saw of Russell Howard where he's like, do you remember back in the day if a guy wanted to get a girl's attention,
Mhm.
he'd make like a mixtape and he'd be like, I
Oh
thought of these songs
yeah.
and they made me think of you and I put them together so that you can listen to the songs and think of me. But now you just walk into a forest full of just dick pics just flying at you.
Dick
Very
pics.
unsolicited dick pics. And it's like when a cat brings you a dead mouse, you kind of like, I appreciate the sentiment, but
Yeah.
get it away from me.
Yeah.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves about online dating is like, hi, nice to meet
Yeah.
you, dick pic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's on the back note of like dick pics. It is unsolicited. Before you even had a conversation with this person, before you've even said hi,
you could
you
just.
know, going into my past, I had a guy who turned around and was like, "Do you know what Triple H is?" And I was just like, "What's Triple H?" And this was like, was it? Got about 4 years ago or something like that. And I was just like, "No, I don't know what Triple H is." And he was just like, "Yeah, it's horny, hungover, and haggard, or whatever it was, tired, whatever it was. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, right, okay. And he just sent a picture of his dick. And I was just like, okay, so you're clearly horny. If you're still hungover and tired or hungry, whatever you are, just go and sort itself out. Like, you've not even asked me how my
Don't get me
day
involved.
is. You've not,
Yeah.
I don't want to see that at 8:30 in the morning when I've just got up to go to work or whatever it is. No, I'm all right, thanks.
No. You'd think that a lot of the guys out there are there for good reasons, but
Yeah.
I would say there's more of a majority of guys on specific apps, probably more so like Tinder,
Yeah,
that are there
they're
for the
there.
wrong reasons. And I
Mm.
found when I was in my sort of dating history, Tinder was like the dick pic central, the misogynist, the
Yeah.
guys who just wanted a little bit of like a booty call or horny messaging. Bumble was full of
People that you've
I
walked
don't
past,
even know.
apparently. Bumble is one of those where if you are in a
Yeah,
certain area, like 3 meters or
yeah.
whatever it is, from
Hmm.
from these people, that's when you would, like, I would walk past someone. When I used to work in Liverpool, I'd walk past someone and it'd just be like, you
Yeah.
just matched on Bumble, and I was like, great, but I'm probably never gonna
I
see him
think
again.
that's no, and I think that's a bit creepy because I don't really want him
Yeah,
to really know that
no
much.
way away.
And Hinge is just full of weirdos.
Never been on.
I've got a story for later about Hinge, about a guy. But they just all seem to be a little bit more sort of maybe a bit more alternative, which isn't a bad thing, especially for me because I do like an alternative looking guy.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
alternative and also a little bit weird is what I would say. There was just some weird conversations coming out of it.
Mhm.
They're either really alternative and weird, or they, like I said, like to go on runs and hikes.
Yeah,
And
exactly. It's one or the other,
yeah,
really, isn't it? There's no sort of mid, should we say, spectrum for the people that are on dating apps. You're either really, really, really kind of strange and take pictures with fish and, kind of let you go on hikes. And you do you, boo. At the end of the day, if you want to go and hike Snowdon and you do all that, that's absolutely
not a bad thing.
fine. And
Not a bad
and
thing.
be like, oh, I'm super into my fitness. I only want a girl who's got a tight arse and a skinny waist,
Yeah,
but she needs to have curves. Like, love, that's not going to happen unless she really works well
yeah,
on a figure herself. That's absolutely fine. But
yeah,
if you want an arse and you want a pair of tits, you're gonna have to expect a little bit of stomach as well, or a little bit of thigh weight, or whatever it is. But you would get people who are very sort of up themselves. Look at me, I'm into this. Or then you get the
hmm
people who are like, "Hi, Jackie," you know,
Your
you
eyes
look
are
very
brown like tree
beautiful tonight.
trunks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I want a happy medium. I do, and I'm just loving Insubordinate's comment. The audacity to present us with this filth when we barely had a chance to digest our breakfast.
It's so
Very, very
true.
true.
It's so
It's so
true.
true.
The amount of mornings I would have when I'd have to somewhat digest that picture.
To be fair, I never really looked at the dating apps in the morning. I think it was more of a
I was bored. It was
no.
my bus ride to work.
Well,
That's what that was for me.
that makes sense. I
Yeah,
drive, so yeah,
yeah,
can't really do that when I'm driving.
yeah.
But no, I find it, and one of the biggest things on Hinge, well, on any dating sites, is that picture of the guy in the gym in front of the mirror,
Oh yeah.
with his arms like
This
this.
is
And
what
he's
I
like,
mean.
I want you to
Yeah.
see how big I am.
Small
Or when
cock.
they've got like a
Yes.
massive list of demands, like
Yes. This touching on what I've just
oh
said. Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah. She's got to
yeah,
do this
just
and she's got to
what
do that, and she's got
not
to.
even about looks,
Yeah.
just like I don't know, putting like you can't be too flaky or you can't be too high maintenance. I'm like, I get you've got things that you like, but I think the time to discuss that is when you're actually talking. I know we're in this culture of like swipe fast,
y-
but surely if you put in that list of demands on, I'm
It's
fucking you
you
off.
know what it is though,
Even if
right?
I'm not like that person, because you just seem too high maintenance to me, I'm gone.
Yeah, and you know what? Everyone's different, and this is what I realised over time. And a lot of women may
Hmm.
agree with this. A lot of men may
Guy holding
disagree.
the fish.
But
Yeah.
when you are on an app, you're swiping. Us women are so much more fussy. We don't swipe on everyone. I know
No,
for a
we don't.
fact the majority of men, I'm not going to say all men, but a big majority of men, if you're on Tinder or Poff or Badoo or whatever it is, you are going to
But
swipe
do.
right. Yeah, Badoo. You are going to swipe right on a lot of women because you just want someone to match with. You just want someone to answer that dick pic in the morning or just have a conversation with, depending on what, you know, end of the scale you're at. But that's what I know, and mainly from having friends in the past who have been male and have been on dating apps where they've been like, yeah, I just swipe. I just keep swiping until someone comes up. Whereas, like,
Really?
I would sit there and interrogate this profile and be like,
Oh yeah. I look at
okay.
all the pictures. I look at all the little
All the
bits that they've
little
written.
paragraphs, yeah, everything he's written about himself, or even if he's just put pictures on, I'm like, right, you're not really interested. I'm not going to swipe right on you because you've not really given me anything to work with, and I don't really want to see
Yeah.
a picture of you just stood there looking like a bloody
Yeah.
dawn. Do you know what I mean? But
Oh my god! Again, as well, when they do the body pic where the head's cut off and it's just their body, their torso.
like, oh,
What are you
great,
doing?
yeah,
Why are you doing?
yeah.
I mean, the time to see your body's later. I'm not that superficial. It's fine. I know
That's
some
so
women
true.
are, but no, don't want to see that. Or when their whole profile is just pictures of them with other people,
Mhm.
so you don't really know
Yeah.
which one they are.
Exactly. And then you say you take a chance and you match with them, and then it ends up being the guy at the end who doesn't know where he's looking. And it's like, you know what? I'm not judging, but you've put a group photo on for a reason. You've put a group photo on because you know for a fact it'll get you more people to swipe. You've not narrowed
Yeah,
down who you are, which can then lead
exactly.
into potentially catfishing anyway. But that's a whole other
Yeah,
sort of
yeah. Or
side to it.
when they put pictures of them with loads of girls on, like I have girl mates. Like,
Like, good
fine,
for
yeah,
you. You
that's
do you.
fine.
Like, you know.
Um, I don't mean that's a bad thing that they've got girl mates. I don't mean it's a bad thing they
No,
put
no,
pictures of
it's not.
themselves with girls up. But it's when it's their whole profile. It's like,
It's yeah, yeah. But just go
show
back
me a
to
nice picture of you.
we've had quite a few comments. Obviously, guy holding a fish, instant ick. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
100%. You could make someone a Spotify playlist. That going back to like the mixtape. It yeah, with everything being online now, you can make someone a little Spotify playlist. I know loads of
That'd be
people who have done that.
cute.
That would be cute. Like I'm just gonna send you these songs, or I'm gonna send you this playlist, and this is what I
But
think of you, and that's cute. A bit gay,
but then
but it's
again,
cute.
now, do you know exactly? I was about to say that. Like men have evolved into just being like, oh yes, I'm a macho man. But I think a lot of women have evolved to be like, I don't really want that cuteness and sweetness out of a guy because they'd find that
Straight away.
probably a bit of a not a red flag. And we've talking a lot about red flags recently, but maybe more of a like, ooh, he's a bit keen. Why is he doing
Super,
that?
super keen.
So
Super, super keen. But the
yeah,
thing
I
is,
mean, dating in 2023 is probably a lot different than dating in
because
the
not we,
1980s.
us personally, but because people and women um deal with dickheads on a daily basis or a weekly basis, because when we do
Yeah.
deal with maybe a nice person comes, you're like, I'm waiting for the penny to drop. What's actually going on here? Like, are you actually this nice IRL, or are you just trying to sweeten me up, butter me up, and then as soon as I'm, madly in love with you, you're gonna start being an absolute bellend. And
I'm
I've had
gonna say
situations like
let's
that in the
not talk about
past.
that.
No, but I've had two relationships in the past, and
I
obviously
know.
by
Yeah.
the second one, I clearly didn't learn my lesson the first time, you know.
Yeah.
And also with online dating, you realize you don't actually have a type. Like, I've gone for people who are completely
No, I
different.
don't have a type.
I don't
Yeah.
have a type. I thought I did. I thought I did have a type. I clearly don't. But
No. I think it's harder for me because I've just got out of like a 14-year relationship. So what?
yeah,
I've had one, well, on and off, obviously, but I've had like one type for so long. So then, when you actually take those black and white glasses off and you see the world in color, it's like everything looks amazing. Which sounds bad, and I don't mean like
no,
I'm
I
gonna
know what
go
you mean
around and
though. Yeah.
do that. But I think you just kind of open to a new world a little bit, and you have to figure out what things you like. And so, online date is probably good for that because it gives you a range of different kind of guys to look at, I
Yeah.
suppose. But
Yeah.
I think my issue with it now, if I was to go on online dating again, I just think I'd be a bit too apprehensive
Yeah.
just to
I
actually
know.
go and meet a stranger in this day and age. I
Yeah.
don't know. Is it not a bit
Yeah.
scary?
And yeah, oh yeah, 100%. And it's so sad that I've got so many stories to tell, from my past. Like, it's so bad. Like, when I
I
lived
want to
in
hear them. I
Liverpool,
really
and
want to hear them.
for long story cut short, I met one guy called,
Mhm.
I don't know what his name. I think it was Sean or something like that. It was when I was
We're
living in
naming names. I
Liverpool.
love it.
I was 21. and he was like, "Hey, let's go out for some food. I've only been messaging you for like a day. Hey, let's go out for some food. Let's get a drink. Let's actually meet in person." I was like, "Oh my God, this is so nice. Yeah, sure, why not?" We meet up. He looks completely different to what he was on his pictures. He takes me to Nando's. Makes me go half and half with him, which is fine, absolutely fine. Like
That I
I don't
like
mind.
that. I don't
Like
mind that.
I like paying for my own shit. Um, and then
Yeah.
goes, right, let's go to, if anyone knows it, the Cabin Club, which is a very famous pub bar in Liverpool. Um,
Yeah.
and we're in this dark underground bar, which is really nice. It's a nice atmosphere. And then he tries to get you in
Mm.
a corner, and you're just like, yeah, this is not for me. I'm 21. You're like late 20s. I've only known you, what, maybe 2 hours?
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I'm all right, thanks. And tries to get you to go back to us, and you're like, yeah, maybe not.
That's
Um,
the scary part about it. Even at the age of
exactly.
31, nearly 32, you obviously you've got to be careful about where you meet up and not like trying to turn this into a lecture. It's a bit of fun, but definitely got to be careful where you meet up and who knows where you're
Oh
going
yeah.
and shit like that, don't you? And I
Oh
think
yeah.
I'm a little bit of a wild one. And I'd just be like, yeah, I'll go and probably not tell anyone. And like, I'd be
Exactly.
the
I had
person on the Sunday morning news,
stages like that, yeah. It
which I don't want to be.
it is what I mean. It is pros and cons. There's pros and cons to online dating, and
Mm.
I've had success stories.
Yeah.
Like I met the father of my child online. I now have a beautiful son. That's
You
my
do?
success story. Yes, okay, that didn't work out, and that's absolutely fine. But I got something beautiful out of it. I've
Yeah.
had really bad stories, and a lot of people who do online dating have probably done the exact same and dark underground isolated perfect first date. Yeah,
Yeah.
when the guy's not creepy. you know.
I think that might have been sarcasm, to be fair, if I'm honest, Bam. Um, yeah, maybe no dark isolated spaces. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's definitely
Um,
Deuce's type of
but
date. Definitely he loves his dark and isolated places.
obviously.
But yeah.
But yeah, for me, I think when I was single, this is like obviously like 3 years ago during COVID, 4 years ago. There was a guy off Hinge. He was from Hinge.
Go on.
If we're naming names, he was called Lewis. Tattooed. He had tattoos on his face. So again, not judging anyone who has tattoos on the face, but maybe
You're gonna kill me in my
um
sleep.
no, I liked it. I really did. And
Yeah.
I was a bit like, he's new, he's interesting, he's different. Um,
Alternative.
and I liked it, and I was very, very like, oh, okay. So my dad probably would be a bit iffy if I brought him on, but I quite like it. Let's try something, a little bit different from what I'm used to. Since then, I've got well more into tattoos as well. So maybe
Yeah.
I'm not blaming this guy or saying it's this guy.
No.
But we really got on, and obviously in the world of COVID, we had to video date, as I mentioned earlier, and we had about 5 or 6 video dates over about 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to the point where I considered breaking COVID rules. I never did, so can't judge me. Driving down to where he lived to actually go and meet him, because I trusted this person. I thought, we spoke
Yeah,
for
as you
all
do.
this time. They're really nice. We arranged a date. I was living with my dad at the time. I even said, "Dad, I'm sorry, leaving the house, going to somebody else's." Like, didn't say what for, but like, don't grasp me in, sort of thing. Not like he would. The day before, the guy messages me saying, "Oh, he's had a fight with the baby mama. He had a son." I loved that because obviously I had a
Yeah,
daughter.
exactly. It's good.
Seemed like a really good dad. And he said, "So I have to move back down south. And I don't think it would be nice of me to bring you around for us to get on, and have a good time for me to then move away and never see you again." And I
Yeah.
thought, oh, that's so honest.
Yeah.
So lovely of him. So we just kind of left it. I didn't go to meet him. I nearly did.
I was gonna say you
It was
nearly outed
planned
yourself
in.
then.
It was planned in. I definitely didn't meet him. And I was gutted about it because I've been speaking to him for 3 months. I'd even told my daughter's dad about him, on some occasions, like, I quite like the guy. And then obviously 3 months down the line, got back together with my daughter's dad. And I was back in a relationship, quite happy.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise that the guy I still had him on Facebook.
Okay.
So it's a year later from this date, and I see a little post pop up saying "Happy 2-year anniversary" to his girlfriend.
Oh.
And I was a bit like, whew, like at the time,
Woohoo.
I would have been fuming. But because it had been a year on, and
Yeah.
I obviously was over that, I was still like, the fucking audacity. Like, why? That's what I don't get about men. You'd been with this girl for a year, and what, COVID happened, and just thought, let's just jump on
Yeah.
Hinge and lead some women on. So
Yeah.
that's my apprehensions, I suppose,
Oh yeah. Yeah. And
about online dating.
you're still gonna get, unfortunately, in this day and age, you are still gonna get people like that.
Yeah.
I know of a person, this was a while ago as well, who was like, I'm in a relationship. It's an open relationship, but I'm in a relationship. She knows that,
Hmm.
I'm looking, blah blah blah, for just a little bit of fun. That's all he wanted, a little bit of fun, but he was still in a relationship. So I was just like,
Right.
I don't know how I feel about this. Anyway, we were chatting, whatever, flirty, whatever it is. Um, and then before you know it, they're like asking to meet up and book a hotel room and yada yada yada. And you're like, okay, so this guy just clearly wants to get down to the nitty gritty because that's all he
Yeah.
wants. He wants a bit of fun. That's fine. Um, Apprehensive myself at that one. Especially when he turned around and was like, it's fine. I'm paying for everything and I'll give you 250 quid to do it. I was like, right, I'm on a dating app. I'm not on an escort website.
That's what I
I'm
thought.
not selling myself. I mean,
I mean, 250
don't
quid,
get me wrong,
250
about
quid.
5% of my
I'm
brain was
joking, I'm
like,
joking.
I'm skint. Like,
Yeah.
I could do with 250 quid. But, it's, yeah, you're like, if you want to do this, go on whatever it's called, like Sugar Daddy or, whatever it is that if you want to pay someone to go and have sex with them, that's fine. Go down that route. But don't go on bloody Tinder or, Poff to do it.
Do
Sold.
you know? I
Yeah.
wonder how many women he got with that though. And how? Yeah, exactly.
I really want
200.
to know.
Do you know what? I'd consider it, especially just
I
before
did
Christmas.
consider it. I
I'm
did.
not gonna lie.
No, I did.
I wouldn't, or I wouldn't tell anyone.
I
No, I
wouldn't,
wouldn't
I
do
wouldn't
it.
say
But
on air that I'm gonna do it.
no, I wouldn't do it.
Are we still in touch? No.
Obviously,
No.
asking for a friend. Love that. Love that.
I'll find out for you.
Yeah. And open relationships, that's going to be, I think, a topic of one of our future podcasts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because oh my god, we could deep dive into that. But I think if you're in an open relationship, then
That's
should
different.
you be
Completely
on
different.
dating websites? Although I suppose that you could meet someone who's also in an
Depends.
open relationship.
You could be
I don't
in
know.
a swinging couple. I know a lot of people. I used to have neighbors that were swingers, and they would, I know a lot of people, and that's really bad. I don't know if that's a good
I
sign.
know some swingers from
Um,
Bamber Bridge.
yeah, and
Never the
they
name
would be
them.
like, right, we're gonna, we love our sex life, we love having sex with each other, but we're gonna go out together, and we're gonna go and see if there's anybody else to have sex with, together. It's
Definitely not for me. I don't like sharing or being shared, but
and I feel like it's
yeah.
double the effort. Like you've
Oh
got
my
to,
god, that's another topic for the future. Like actual swingers.
like, yeah. Okay, it's only sex. 250 quid is 250 quid. Yeah, it is, and that's fine.
Oh, insubordinate said, how disgusting of him. What is his number and where does he live? Just so that they can avoid him.
Yeah.
Obviously.
100%.
No
I
other
don't know
reason.
any of that information, mainly for the fact it was a good few years ago now. But scatting and not being scattered.
Not
Oh
being
right, yeah,
what?
scat play for 250 quid. Right, okay, yeah.
Oh.
Fair, like I said, everyone is completely different. Like, you know, I don't know. Like some people would be like, yeah, sound. I don't even have to think about that twice. Get yourself tested before and after. But that, 250 quid, yeah, let's just shag, whatever it is. Some people would be like, no, and completely avoid it.
Yeah.
Because I was younger, that's why I avoided it. Like I was like, I was at that
Oh
point
no,
where I
I
was like,
definitely
I'm
would
not
avoid
very
it.
sort of, what's the word, confident in my abilities, should we say. And I was just like, I don't really trust it. I'm probably gonna die. I'm gonna get killed in someone's
Yeah, because it
basement.
seems that does seem a little bit like a bit of a bait trap, doesn't it? Like
Yeah, you're
no
like,
strings attached, 250 quid, come in my basement. No.
no, it's
Alright.
like, yeah.
Good.
But like I said, pros and
So
cons to online dating. There's so many good things that have come out of online dating. There's so many weird things, and there's so many stories out there. And there's probably,
anybody in the chat, come on,
yeah,
you've got to have stories.
endless
You've got to
amounts
have
of
some stories,
stories. Um,
or just something.
Something you've
You
heard
know what?
of.
What? Yeah.
What's your opinion on it? That's what I want to know.
Wow. Yeah.
What's your opinion?
I don't know, but maybe from a guy's perspective, any guys in the chat, is there any like profile pictures of women that you see quite often that's kind of like our sort of thing with the guys with the fish? I'd be
Yeah,
very interested
yeah.
to see or hear. But there might not be any guys in the chat who have actually done online dating, so
No, exactly.
doesn't seem like it. Oh, okay.
I would agree to the other
Holding a
party
taste.
holding a taser if I was paying for sex. If it made them feel safe, I am fine with it.
But what if that accidentally just went off? Then you're just a little bit.
Hey, well, it kind of
Well,
goes back to our discussion of,
in the bed, aren't you? Really?
electrostimulation the other week. Like,
That's true. True. Oh,
it
they
felt
might like it. Yeah.
exactly. Kind of like, what's that word? Two birds, one stone, that sort of thing. You were on POF for a while,
Oh.
chatting mostly to women, and actually found similar issues with the profiles, like a massive list of what they didn't want. Okay.
So women are the same. Women can be quite. What kind of things were the women saying they didn't want? Because this might just be me, but I'm not being sexist. I thought a lot of women on dating apps were maybe a little bit more open to things, like, but I'm obviously wrong.
Yeah. I
Yeah, I
mean,
can't imagine what list of demands I would want. I think that's probably because I'm thinking from my perspective, not from
I
any
mean,
other women's perspective.
from my previous experience with them, obviously, I think the last time I was on an app of online dating was probably the end of last year, beginning of this year, and I was only on it for a good few weeks because I just got fed up of actually having to speak to people, in the sense
Yeah.
where I was like,
Yeah.
no time wasters. Like, you're messaging me, hey, how are you? And then you go, hey, yeah, I'm good, you. And then you don't speak to them ever again.
That's
And
it.
it's like, I don't
Then
want.
that's it. Yeah.
And then when they do hit you with a good conversation starter and you come back with a response, they're just then like, oh, actually, she actually wants to talk to me. I don't want to talk to her. Like,
Yeah. Have
they,
you ever had like done a response and like instantly unmatched you,
oh
or has anyone had anything like that?
yeah, I have.
So I think I did it with this guy. He asked me if I like spiders, and then I was like, yeah, why? And he said he liked putting them in his mouth, and I was just like, bye. No fucking idea what you're on about, but I ain't sticking around to find out. Just the weirdest things. Yeah, again, I'm 5'2", so the below 6 feet is a common one. Doesn't bother me. You can be whatever you want, to be fair.
Yeah,
I think that's my problem. Because I don't have a type, my problem probably with online dating is I have to get to know someone to fancy them.
Oh, your
Or
personality, like
to properly be
yeah.
attracted to them.
Mhm.
We've said before.
Mhm.
So it's like an endless first episode of Love Island where they're all probably very attractive men or women, and I'm just looking at them like I don't see any of it.
Yeah.
I need to get to know someone, but that initial talking stage in any new relationship is difficult enough, let alone when it's sporadically on message. And
Yeah,
again, you're not seeing them, so how can you actually become attracted to someone
exactly. And the
when you're not
difference,
seeing them?
yeah, and that's the thing with online dating. You have to talk to these people online or over text for a good. Yeah, okay, you may FaceTime and you may call, but it's still very different to actually being with that because that person could be completely different from FaceTime or WhatsApp call to being in person. And I've only ever met two people in my entire dating life that I have known before actually speaking to them. And that says a lot because that also,
I think. Wow, I'm completely different. Sorry, continue. I
no, I
just
mean,
completely
obviously,
interrupted.
how dare you? But yeah, no, it's a different experience, and I've realized that it's different because you instantly become a bit more attracted to them straight away when you do start texting them because you've seen them in person. You know what they're like, you
And
know their
you've interacted
stance,
with
you
them.
know how to interact with them, and you're not as
Yeah.
nervous, shall we say, to when you potentially meet someone that you've been speaking to for what, about
Yeah.
4 weeks, and then you meet them in person.
100%. And I think the majority of any of my relationships, I've known the guy first,
Mhm.
as either as a friend or through a friend of a friend, and I've had conversations with them that weren't relationship conversations
Mhm.
or sexy conversations or
Yeah.
even like talking about that. So I find that that's probably why I struggle with online dating a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like I'll go on online dating, I'll speak to people, I'll message, but then when they're like, "Do you want to go out?" I'm like, "I think I'm all right, mate," because it's the idea of meeting that new person.
Yeah, and you don't know what they're
Um,
gonna be like.
no, I've just seen insubordinate comments. They've said a lot of profiles I came across explicitly stated they wouldn't date bi girls because they don't want someone confused. That's awful.
Very common.
Very short bios that were like, "Don't talk to me if you're just gonna pop up and say hi and nothing else." I mean, I don't mind that, but I wouldn't put it in my profile. I don't want someone just to pop up and say hi, but yeah. Oh, I'm crackly apparently.
It's not
Sounds
you,
like me.
it's Discord. It is
Okay.
it's a bit of a thing. We may go to a BRB screen in a minute, just through quick debrief of just a quick breather because we have
Yeah.
been talking about online dating for a good 20 minutes or so now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anybody in the chat? Anything else about
Mhm.
online dating before we close the segment off and move on to something else?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you do put something in a bit later, we
We can
can
always go back to
rotate
it. We're
back.
not,
But
yeah, we're
yeah.
not, But yeah, right, okay. We're just going to go
Whoa! I've just actually gone back. 2 exes. Just in JW Holmes' comment. Sorry. 2 exes I've had have had sex with prostitutes. If that's the story. One while we were together. I completely overlooked that. I'm very sorry. That's
completely,
madness.
yeah.
Were they off
no,
online
that-
dating? I mean, I'm not judging anyone.
You
Sleep
do
with a
you.
prostitute if you want to sleep with a prostitute. But I just wondering specifically if they were online dating people and if there were any signs that I can avoid in any future endeavours. But yeah.
Right. Patience, guys. We'll be back in about 90 seconds. Okay. Thank you. for Bex's
Hello.
face to show again. There we go. We fixed her face a little bit, so that looks good.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
My face always looks good to she.
Kez, insubordinate is asking for kisses. Kez is saying you get a big
Oh,
snog
God.
because it was 40, but Deuce one's in on that action. Yeah, shit, fine. Yeah.
I love that
Everyone's.
they make an entertainment during BRBs.
Yeah, I
That's
love
so
it.
good.
I love it. That's what we like. But yeah, so we've spoken about online dating quite a lot. We can go back to that. That's absolutely fine. Our next thing to talk about, and we've kind of changed it up. If anyone remembered when we spoke about kinks last time, and we're going back into sort of like sex route, a little bit here. We have decided to
Only a tad.
mix it up, and we're talking about kinks and icks. Now,
Yes.
obviously, kinks are kinks. If anyone's got a kink, we know kink shaming here. And icks, anything that kind of turns us off, and we can discuss about.
And it doesn't even have to be in the bedroom. We're
Doesn't
going
even
to
have to be in the
explore
bedroom. There are
all
so
sorts.
many icks that are outside the bedroom.
I do
Are you
remember.
wanting
Do
to go
remember.
first, or should we do the kink first?
I think we do kinks then icks. I think we start with the good and then we can have a bit of a bitch about what our icks
Okay.
are and
Well,
stuff.
for kink, I did pick a little bit of a weird one again. And I say weird because
You always do.
I'm so open-minded, Bex. But yeah, it's called erotic asphyxiation. Does anyone know what erotic asphyxiation is?
Not at all.
Not at all. It's a big word, though, I know.
Nope. Yeah. Sorry,
But
my cat is trying to crawl on the
it's
laptop. Go away.
also known as breath play. Okay.
Breath play.
Now, this will probably kind of go in with a lot of other things that, people are probably used to and they probably do on their, sex lives. But it's a fetish that it involves and obviously heightens the arousal and the intensifies everything else. And it's basically erotic asphyxiation is a type of sadistic and into like is it masochism? I can't say that word. Do you know what word I'm trying to say?
Sadomasochism.
That's it. That word and that sort of fetish. But basically, people during this they find pleasure in power. So if the turn on is basically it has a psychological implication to explore different roles during coitus.
Coitus.
And choking for one. So that has to do with breath play. So choking highlights the giving and receiving of control. Giving someone permission to choke you or vice versa is allowing you to take on dominant and submissive roles in bed. And this is something many of us long for, which is a release from control or the power to take it. So it leads back into people have died from participating, but it all depends on where your line lies, sort of like when you're stop and start, your safe word, should we say? It's hard to say.
And just the trust in the partner, I suppose.
Exactly.
Like, if you're doing it by yourself, then maybe it could. Because I've heard of stories of people dying of that, doing things by themselves. But if you're with somebody else, I guess you just need to have that trust in the person.
Exactly. And we don't.
I think there's a line. Once they die, that's a whole new kink. Yeah, we're not talking about that.
We're not talking about that sort of kink. But the risks do outweigh the pleasure on that sort of thing, because obviously depending on how tough your erotic asphyxiation is, it can actually result in irregular heartbeat and brain damage and cardiac arrest and even death.
Well, I suppose, yeah. What if your line lies at death? I don't know. I don't mind the idea of a hand on a throat, but when it comes to the fact that you're probably nearly
going
passing
purple
out,
in the face, yeah, that's a completely
it's a different story. But so do you think that people like the idea that they can't breathe, or just the control? Because surely in a loving relationship, children, there's maybe a line where they can just do it a little bit and not too far.
There's
But again,
there's choking, and
could
then
that
there's
still be element
being
of control?
fully strangled. And I think there's a very, very, big ass line in between them. On choking, you can choke
Huge line for
someone
me.
without actually cutting off their,
Air supply.
air supply.
Their only way of living. Yeah.
Exactly.
And again, I'm not judging it. I'm not judging it.
No,
Whatever you want
you
to
do
do.
you, like I said.
But I value my life. Personally.
Yeah.
Again, I think maybe some kinks and some of the stuff that even the one week before, I think you've got to be a little bit more educated in before you just start randomly playing around with them, because
Yeah.
you'd have to know what you can and can't do. I keep doing this. I'm just sat here going. And I don't think my hands are big enough to choke anyone, so I don't think I could find a guy who has that.
I don't think unless I used two and they had a really petite neck.
A petite neck.
Potentially I might try it. See what happens.
I don't know if I'd like it. I feel like I'm I
exactly.
don't know. I might get a bit angry and just not stop. No,
and
I'm
just be like, you know what? I'm taking out all my anger on you today. No, that's what we call murder, manslaughter.
murder.
You know.
Let's not do that.
But yeah,
no, I mean, we never comment on whether it's for us or not, and we never would. But I think you've probably got my general idea of it.
Same.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Kaz said there's even for things like hair pulling, there's actual techniques. Yeah, because you've got to like kind of wrap it, or it's going to rip the hair out. Aren't you?
Don't just go fuck off and yank it. You've got to add a little bit of, should we say, passion into it, and like get a handful of hair and just kind of tighten your grip on it, or things like that. You're not necessarily grabbing it and just going fuck off and yanking it. That's completely different. That just goes from painful. Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, whatever floats your boat.
Hooray! Hooray!
I just picture a chain on an engine, yeah. But yeah, that's
You do pick the weirdest of kinks, though. It's very extreme again, and it's not a bad thing because I think talking about the extreme ones is probably more interesting for me. Talking about things that I would probably never consider, because I'm much in insubordinate thoughts of big difference between like choking and losing air
It's
supply.
100%. There's a big difference between light choking and strangulation, and there's a difference between hair pulling, all of these little kinks that. Mainly this one with the asphyxiation, I hate that word, and controlling the breath plate and being the dominant person on the side of that. You are completely in control of this person's sort of life for those minutes that you're doing it, and this other person is completely submissive to you, and you know.
Yeah, I'm wondering who's getting the pleasure out of this as well, because I've been told that the more you breathe as you're about to, the more intense it is. So like the deeper you breathe in, or like the faster you breathe at that point, the more intense your actual outcome will be, I will say. So if you are holding your breath and that happens, and you have literally no air supply, is that good or is that bad? I have no experience with it, so I don't really know.
I might get a tally chart next time I come across it, and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I'll do a bit of research.
Okay, do some market research.
Market research. Yeah, it is a different one. It's not weird, but it's not everyone is into it. It leads into sort of BDSM and bondage and all things like that, because you can get all these, sort of things that help with that, like collars and things that wrap around you like rope and things like that, and then obviously that leads into a whole different sort of kink. But yeah, it's always to be done with someone that you somewhat trust, and
you definitely trust.
you kind of have to, you can't somewhat trust them, you have to trust them, and and enjoy their company in that sense. And obviously if you want to do that, you do that.
Nothing wrong with wearing a collar.
Yeah,
but I actually know the situation you're talking about, so I'm going to shut up.
I need to know about this.
A story for a different time. Which I'll let insubordinate tell you themselves one day. But yeah, so
yeah,
kinks. I want to know if we are gonna move on to the icks. If you've got any more on the kinks, please let me know.
Yeah. Anyone on any more opinions on erotic Asphyxiation.
Yeah. I think everyone's kind of said what they want to say
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Again, whatever floats your boat, no kink shaming. Just be careful. Be careful out there. But yeah, with the
Safety
icks,
first.
I want every single person in the chat, if they can, to just give me. It doesn't have to be sexual. Doesn't have to be in the bedroom. Just one like major ick that you've had, whether you're a girl or a guy, whatever it is, just something that you've seen someone doing, and you're just like, bleh, nah, not into that. Have you got anything?
I've got one.
And it can be as stupid as you want. Like, for example, I saw one before when a guy's holding an umbrella and it goes inside out. That's apparently an ick for someone.
Apparently.
So the sillier the better.
It's really hard for me to be not. It's not really hard for me to be turned off. But what I mean is like personal hygiene's one. So, it's a
Yeah,
really
yeah.
big ick for me if you're not that you're not clean, because obviously for me to jump into bed with you, you'd have to be clean. But
Yeah.
I mean little things like just keep your fingernails tidy. Like if you've got dirt under them, clean them. Clip them down if
Yeah.
they're too long. Like, if you want long nails, that's fine. Just keep them clean. Toenails as well, another one. Like, I don't want to see a man with long ass toenails. Just cut them. Like, especially if you're gonna have your feet out. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see that. Like,
Well, I'd expect them to have their feet out,
yeah.
because one of my icks is when you're in the passion of the throws and that they're completely naked and they have the socks on still.
I
Weird.
can't say anything
I
'cause I'm
find
that
it weird.
person.
I find it weird. If I'm fully naked with no socks on, take your socks off. Not that I want to see your feet, but let's just get fully undressed, please. I don't know. It's like,
What if you get
if you're in
cold
a throw of
feet?
passion, then you shouldn't be having sex with him, should you?
But yeah, no.
No.
Biggest ick, 10 toes. Get out of here with all your toes. I like my sexual partners to have some body trauma that made them lose a little piggy.
Of course.
I also keep my
So
socks
let's
on.
not talk about men with big egos, unicorn, please. And yeah, again, when they think the God's gift to win him. Yay. I'm gonna move on.
Sorry, I'm getting all hot and flustered
I'm
because
not-
I'm thinking
I'm
about
not
keeping my
saying that-
socks on.
I'm not saying that girls can't keep their socks on. Girls, keep your socks on. I'm saying that if I'm with a guy, I want him to take his socks off. It's just a thing. I don't know. And I'm not on about like maybe like ankle socks. Like if a guy's got like, I don't know, like full on.
Like full on like
know.
sport socks and things like that, and yeah, and
Like full on socks up to their
yeah.
thighs. It's a bit weird.
But if you think about it, if a woman
Yeah.
wears thigh-high socks, that sometimes
sexy.
is sexy to men. Like
True,
I
true.
also knew a guy who wanted to do me while I had my slippers on.
Oh, okay.
Each to
Yeah.
their own.
I knew a guy who liked sweaty socks being kept on. Very weird. Very much not for me. But if he's wearing a Veruca sock, I'm not swimming with him. So he can take it off.
I don't swim. I
In
can't
my
swim.
opinion. In my opinion. What?
You're not even
Oh,
joking.
okay.
Right, okay. Whether you eat yogurt
Whether
with a
you eat
tiny
yogurt with a
spoon,
tiny
same
spoon.
with cereal. Yeah, you're supposed to eat with a big spoon. I mean, obviously.
You are. I did Google some, and there's
Come
some
on.
weird fucking ones.
Come on.
That's
what you got.
You've got your common ones like you said, your bad hygiene, your dirty fingernails, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But some of them are absolute madness, and I find it really funny. And guys, don't get upset. But some of them are just so weird. So like I said before, one of them actually says holding an umbrella is enough to give me the ick. But if that umbrella turns inside out, they'll never see me again. Holding an umbrella, apparently, which is when they slide down the stairs and their bum shouting, "Wee!" Okay, I've never seen that. I don't know what I'd do. This is a good one. I think I'd be the same. Sat on one of those bar stools and their legs are just dangling freely.
That's a good one. But like, doesn't it kind of like, I don't know, it might just be me, but say how long you've known that person. Say you've been seeing them for like what, a year or two or whatever it is, and they decide to slide down their bum on the stairs and go, wee! You're not going to automatically be turned off. You might join in.
It depends on the person. It does depend on the person, and I think it does depend on what you. I'm not saying all these are going to be icks for everyone, because one of them says, one of them says filling their car up with petrol. Don't know why. Makes me feel weird. They've got to do it, ladies. So I don't understand that one.
I know.
I'll let you read the chat because I've
Yeah.
just seen that.
So when someone shouts Dumbledore just as the big bang happens at the end, major turn off. What's even a bigger turn off is when the few times that happen after it, you continuously shout it.
Sorry, not sorry. I'm not involved in this. And I know that some people who have enacted in a bit of Dumbledore-ness
A
like it.
little bit of
So,
Dumbledore, don't judge. When they look at you and say, "Mummy, my pee-pee hurts," when you're not their mother and they're 40 years old.
wow. When they won't wait for a drink at a busy bar. Yeah, that's a big ick. Big ick.
I give myself
I
the
give
ick.
myself the ick when I'm putting petrol in my car. Worse than putting petrol in your car, putting air in your tyres. Hate doing that. Hate it. Makes me feel sick. After eating spaghetti and they have little orange stains around their mouth.
Mm. But yeah.
Do you know the two guys? Have you ever heard? Is it Shits and Giggles podcast or whatever?
Yes.
On TikTok, I see them, and one of them was like a sexual one, and apparently the guy finished on her forehead, rubbed it in, and went Simba. What would you actually do if a guy did that?
I mean,
what would you do?
I don't know. Once again, it goes into how long you've been with the person, how long you've been dating them. Like, I don't know.
True.
I feel like my icks get less and less the more I know them because,
The more you love someone,
yeah,
obviously.
the
I think
more
we're
that you
talking
feel
new
for someone because
relations.
you'd be like, oh, it's kind of cute. Or if you don't like it, kind of going back onto a conversation me and you had privately in my house when we were getting
Headbutting.
drunk once, and
Headbutting.
I told you about a guy that I went on a few dates with, and he booped me.
Oh yes,
He
did.
booped
Yeah.
me. So every time I seen him, and when I say I seen him, I only
Oh, and
seen him a handful
a
of
boot,
times.
by the way.
Boop,
Just demonstrate a
with a
boot,
P.
please.
So on your nose, you go boop, but he does it to you, or they do it to you, whoever it is, and it's you sat there, you're just watching a bit of Sunday night TV or whatever it is, and you finished a McDonald's and you're just chilling, and he looks at you and goes boop, and you're just like, why are
Yeah,
you
and
making me feel like
that's
I'm a 5-year-old
something
or a
that
dog?
recently happened to me, and I completely overlooked, even after you told me it was an ick for you. So I suppose I think icks are like. Icks are like the opposite of red flags. Like you forget about red flags at the start of a relationship, and then you see them more and more as you go on. But then the more into a relationship, you see the icks less and less.
Exactly, and it goes back into what
Yeah.
Insubordinate is saying. A boop should not be given lightly. A boop requires a certain level of commitment or affection because it's if you've known that person for a certain amount of time and they boop you and go, "Oh, aren't you cute?" It'd be nice to be like, "Oh, yeah, that made me laugh." But like when you've known them for like a week and they boop you,
Weird.
it's love. I'm
Bit
not.
weird.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I'm not saying a boop makes you want to be undressed or whatever, but you boop dogs doesn't make you want to undress them and fling them onto the bed. That's fine. I boop dogs. Why are you booping me? I've known you a week. You're booping me. You're treating me like
Yeah.
I'm a poodle. I'm all right, thanks.
I mean, some girls might like that. Some guys might like that. That's fine. You can
come
boot
near me with your
whenever you
fingers,
want.
Jade. I swear to God.
Jade, you can boot me on Thursday. Don't you worry.
Fine, dummy.
Oh, this is a good one. When you're going on holiday and they give their passport to immigration, and then they stand back waiting like this. That face you do when they're looking at you, or whenever you're ID'd.
You just like you try and pull the same face, don't you? You're just like.
You do. Stick your finger in my mouth instead. I'd much rather have that.
Yeah.
Don't know why I just shouted that out. Really,
I'm a finger sucker sometimes. A bit of thumb action. That's absolutely fine.
But yeah, there's some hilarious icks. I don't think they're that funny, some of them, but when the barber has to pump up his little chair. Yeah, okay. When they drop a coin and they have to chase after it. I don't know. Any
I mean, these are really, really
they're really
icks.
Yeah, none of these are mine. This is the best one. When they have a Tesco club card I tell you what, I'm the opposite. That shows to me that guy's got some.
He's got
Some
some logic.
brains.
He's got a Nectar card,
some
plus a
logic.
club card. Like he wants to gain points while he goes shopping and get things for a little bit cheaper. That's tactics. We like that.
Yes. The noise he makes after eating something hot. Well, he makes good noises after eating me, and I'm hot. Then I'm all right.
Exactly. When they tie their shoelaces, 100%, Kez. I completely agree. I want all my men falling on the floor for me.
Don't most people just tuck shoelaces in nowadays? Is it like a thing?
I don't know. It depends on the shoes, I think.
Agreed. I would chase a coin as well.
Yeah.
When they try and merge lanes, but no one lets them in. How's that the guy's fault? Some of these are absolutely ridiculous. And do you know what, men? I apologise on behalf of women for some of these. When their swimming trunks inflate in the water. What are these women? That's what I want to know.
Bambi likes it men in Velcro. Damn right.
This one, actually, I quite agree with this one. Because I wouldn't want a man to do this anyway. When they stamp near a pigeon and it doesn't move.
I mean, once again, like, why?
I'd be questioning why they're doing it, but
Yeah.
stamping near a pigeon.
Yeah. I mean,
Anyway, they are the ridiculous icks of the night from me. When they say you two, when you
I
say
do that.
or when you get two words mixed together in a public setting. So embarrassing.
Like, you know, I do it a lot. Like, someone will go, "Hey, you alright?" And I'll go, "Yeah, you." And then they go, "Yeah," and I'll go, "Okay, yeah, you." Like, and I'll just repeat myself. Like, I go,
Or
"You
like when you're
alright?"
trying to say cool and good at the same time, you just go good.
Or ghoul.
The problem is for me, I don't get so embarrassed about that sort of stuff anymore because I train people for a living. I talk all day and words just come out randomly, or I can't speak, and I just go start that one again. And it used to really embarrass me, but not anymore. Oh, that's deep.
That's a deep one.
That one's.
I want you to beat me up when they win. Never mind when they lose.
You do well. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a different. But
On
yeah,
that one.
no, it's the domestic abuse is completely different in that sense. But that's yeah.
I think domestic abuse should be the biggest ick.
It should be the biggest ick. It shouldn't even be a thing, but it is.
So it shouldn't.
Mm.
Anyway, yeah, that's my my little part about icks for you.
Yeah,
if anybody else got any more icks,
we've got a lot of icks.
Do you have an actual genuine ick though? Because I'm trying to think, and I don't think I have one. Like I said, the socks thing, it does, but I can overlook it.
Yeah, it's little things like that you can overlook. Like
it's not like a genuine one I have.
No, I don't think I have like a proper one that would put me off full stop whether I liked you for amount of years or not. Do you know what I mean? I think it's just like I don't know. It's if
blowing on your glasses then wiping them.
I was just about to clean my glasses, but I'm not gonna do it now.
No, don't do that.
But yeah, it's a wide range of icks, should we say?
And that's weird, Kez. Sorry, Kez has put mine is genuinely men who love football, but I love football. So I mean I like a man who likes football. I don't like it when they have a hissy fit and punch something.
No, that's different.
When their football team loses, that's an ick, but that's just anger issues. But I like a man who's passionate about a sport. So it just shows that we're all different, doesn't it?
It's definitely Like I don't mind football. I grew up in Liverpool. Like my family support Liverpool, and and things like that. So when it comes to football, yeah, whatever. I know people who go to football games. I know people who have kids to go and do football and stuff like that, and that's fine. But I'm not gonna sit here and watch every match and get involved all the time and things like that. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not like a heavy supporter. Like, and there's men out there who are the exact same. Like, not everyone.
I've already stuck my finger up it. It's fine. They do take it very seriously, but again, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Like when they say like man math is like when a guy turns around and is like, oh, we won, even though they're not part of the team or work for the football club in any way, shape or form. But I do that about my team. I'm like, oh yeah, we won. And I really do like football, so I suppose it's just different interests, isn't it?
Go on, lad, fucking kick it! Yeah, that makes me feel sick as well. I don't like that.
Go and have a go if you think you're hard enough. Yeah,
Du-du-du.
if a guy were chanting like that, it probably would put me off, to be fair.
Yeah. And
Who are you?
but
Who are you?
that's also
But I've done it at a football match before as well.
it kind of
So.
it's a chant, but it's not a football chant. It's not a huge ick, but it kind of makes my skin crawl a little bit. Where when
Okay.
you're in the pub and you're not drunk enough, and people are like, "Go on, just drink it," and they're like, What was it? We love to drink with Bams, and you start chanting, and you're like,
Bams is
"Stop
great.
peer pressuring me
Yeah.
into drinking. I will drink it in my own pace." I mean, I normally
Yeah.
drink quicker than everyone else that I'm sat with anyway.
True.
But yeah, I don't like
Excuse
that.
me.
Don't put me under pressure to down my drink. Like, I don't like that. Wait until I'm at
No.
least 6 drinks, and
At
then
least 6 drinks.
at least 6 drinks, and then I'll
Choked to
start
death.
downing them. Yeah, but I might also cut your arms off if you do that. So that's another
Okay.
story for another day.
So that was definitely part of the bitch, which is alright, bitch about shit. I like that one.
Yeah, I like that one. But yeah, we might be back with that one because that was a good one, wasn't it? A nice little segment. We are coming
I
to
don't know how much more we could do X though, because we kind of just spoke about all of them, so we might have to rethink this.
maybe, but
Yeah.
we are coming towards the end of the podcast now, but we do have a little sort of like question time again, so we're gonna do question time again. Now, obviously,
Sorry, just seeing Kez's comment there just before we do. What about when people go, you know you want to?
no,
Again, control. Anyway, continue, Bams. I
exactly.
apologize.
No, it's fine. Yeah, like we what die? Yeah, of course I want to die. But yeah, question time. So this is just time for you to ask us questions if you've got anything to, I mean I'll be open and honest. Specs might be the same, depending on obviously what the question is.
I mean, yeah, I'll try my best.
Yeah,
Not gonna
and
out
obviously
everything.
I've got a question to ask as well. And it's kind of goes into what we have said previously, but also it's not that sexual if you think about it, because if you want to think about potentially, so we've thought about what icks are, what, and I want to know from you, what
Okay.
is your meaning of what intimacy is?
Oh, geez.
Like, what do you class as intimacy that's not necessarily sexual?
I don't think intimacy has to be sexual because you've got people who are in sort of asexual relationships who still experience intimacy.
Exactly.
I think it's a bond. I think it's trust. I do think that you can be intimate quite quickly in a sexual sense, but true intimacy, I think, comes later when you truly know someone, you truly feel comfortable to be your complete, authentic self. Because I don't think you can be truly intimate with someone until you are there. It's like a one night stand, you can have sex and be intimate, but you're not baring your soul. Do you
So
know what I
like,
mean?
yeah,
You're not truly being open to that person.
like I would go into like an activity, so like not a sexual activity. So if you're sat
Yes.
together and
Sorry.
you're on the sofa, you've got, you cuddled up, it's a nice winter's night and you're watching a movie together. To me, that's intimacy because you're not only, forget about it, you're not necessarily, you're not, jumping each other's bones, but you sat there, you're close, you're together, do you know what I mean? And yeah, okay, you may share the odd kiss and you may touch each other a little bit, but you're not full on doing anything or anything like that. And it's an intimate setting.
I don't know. I
That's what
wouldn't
I
call
think.
that intimacy
That's what I
personally.
mean.
Just because
Everyone's different.
I could do that with someone I've known for a few weeks, but true intimacy would be like, I don't know. I know this person in and out. I don't know. I mean, would you say if we laid on the couch together under a blanket watching films that we were being intimate? Because we would do it probably as friends. You can be
No,
as intimate with me as you want. But
exactly.
would you say that would be intimacy, or is it only with someone that you're
It
with
would be
that it's
only
intimate?
with someone that I find in that.
Then how is that truly intimate then?
No, it's not. I'm not saying it's truly intimate. I'm saying
Mm.
it's intimacy with the person, it's your partner or the person that
Okay.
you are dating or that you like. That is what I find as intimacy. Obviously, it's completely, you know, You can be totally intimate as friends. You can be, but you know, everyone
Maybe
is
not the next bit,
no, not
Bams.
necessarily.
Or we just won't tell anyone. She did spoon me the other night though.
Thinking
I
that she
stayed
was
over at her
someone
house.
else. It was really bad.
Yeah, she full on wrapped her legs around me, and instead of going get off me, I just went
And then you
fell
kind
back
of
asleep.
cuddled
I
into me a bit
snuggled
more.
in a little bit. It was nice. So I suppose that's intimacy, but
It was a cold night.
it was a cold night. But yeah, I think intimacy for me, I don't. Again, it's not sex, but
No.
maybe when you trust someone, so you've been with guys before or with women before or in a relationship before, where you've not really had that bond,
Yeah.
and then you meet someone who you fully trust, and you could just do anything with them. So things that maybe might have been boundaries a bit before, or things that might have been a bit before, you are fully comfortable and open to explore those things with that person because you are fully intimate with that person.
What's a little finger between friends?
Very true. Don't
Depends
tell
where the
anyone.
little finger's going.
You said you wouldn't tell anybody about that, Bams.
Fuck's sake,
Um,
sorry.
I'm joking.
Sorry. I just can't help
Um,
myself.
mm,
But yeah, it's yeah, everyone has their own meaning of intimacy. Everyone completely sees it in different ways, like what they class as being intimate and what they class as
mhm.
not being intimate. You know, no one's ever going to have the full on same opinion as someone else. Like I'd probably tell you little stories and I'd be like, oh, you know, it's kind of intimate and stuff like that, and you might be like, I mean,
Yeah,
if I did that, it wouldn't be, but it's fine, and you know, and vice versa. Like everyone's different, but
true, true.
you know,
Yeah.
we're not the same person at the end of the day.
Okay. So, question from me to you,
Oh God.
suppose. I'm trying to think how to word it without it being weird. Where? Oh no, I can't
No,
even
just
word
say it.
this
I'm
one.
like, go on.
I don't think I can ask it.
Just
No.
ask me.
Okay. Where do you draw the line? And again, not on intimacy necessarily, but like, again, I can't word it.
Oh my
Somebody
God.
help me. Ask her a question. I just realised it's
Just,
probably not appropriate.
no. Oh my
Pair of
God.
nappies.
Just ask me.
And it's not icks. It's not icks. It's
No.
like
Come on.
in a relationship. So you
Okay.
get in a relationship.
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line? I think is what I'm trying to say.
Draw the
Like
line at what though?
anything. So I think it's probably experiences in my head from recent past. What is your like do or die no? What is your never turning back moment in terms of relationships? Again, not sexual, but what is your never turning back sort of
Oh, so
moment?
what would stop me from being with that person, basically?
Yeah, what would be your biggest deal breaker? I suppose I could have worded it like that, and it would have been
Yeah.
less weird.
Probably just going back into my past, and this is obviously going a little bit personal, but it's fine. Um, and I and you know, I'm not saying a lot of people
Agreed and subordinate.
um
So
um you know, if we're watching a Netflix series together and you decide to watch the next episode without me, that is a tough break,
even
you
though
know.
I have done that to other people before and not told them,
You
so
know, stealing from Greg's is a deal breaker. Anything else I'm open for? You know, I think my deal breaker is, you know, to go down the bit more of a serious route, which is, I mean, you know, if I could find a funny one and think of one, you know, I'd let you know. But
doesn't always have
I'd
to be
probably
funny.
say just because of past and so would probably be, I mean, if you physically involved yourself with someone else without communication about it, um, to me would be no, I'm all right, thanks. But I'd probably just draw the line. So like
So a form of
cheating.
cheating.
Yeah, yeah, being cheated on. So like,
Okay.
you know, I've been on both end of the scales for that. I have been cheated
Okay.
on and I've, you know, unfortunately, not necessarily physically done it, but you know, you know,
No,
you
same.
know,
I've cheated on people
and
and I've been
it's
cheated on. So
yeah, exactly, and
not cheating.
it is a deal breaker for me in the sense because it's like, you know, it's a level of trust that you can't really get back with that person. And yeah, but suppose Should have just went with the Gregs. I thought that was better.
The Greg's was
Yes.
funny.
Feel
I
like we're
kind of got it a
taking
bit
slippery
serious at
slope.
the end of the podcast.
Yeah, slippery slope.
That's why I was like,
But
I probably
hey,
shouldn't ask this. I thought I was going to ask you first, and then we'd end on something funny.
yeah.
Maybe next time. But because we were talking about intimacy, I just
Yeah.
thought, so that's obviously the good side of it. What's maybe the bad side? So,
Yeah. And also, if we're playing a video game together and you decide to take the easy way out and cheat, I'm sorry, but I'm walking out that door and I'm fucking leaving. I'm never coming back.
what video games are people cheating at? Well, I want to know.
There's codes, Bex. There's all sorts of codes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think if you don't revive me on Fortnite, you're gone. Let it go.
If I can't get to you in time, I really am sorry.
You can't get me into. That's a big ick. That's a massive ick for me.
If you do not
Yeah.
revive me on Fortnite,
You know-
I'm done.
Do you know, funnily talking about Fortnite though, and I know that not everyone plays it, but do you know when you get downed, and you may be playing with a partner and they're downed and they're crawling around on the floor, and then they get picked up and someone's running around with them. It's not an ick, but it's a bit like, oh god. And then it's even funnier when you both get downed, you're just crawling around together, and you're just like,
I love
This is
crawling around with
weird.
someone.
weird.
Let's go into this corner and
Yeah.
die together. Let's go.
I didn't leave you and Kyle to die. Actually, I hid till people went away and then came back to try and save you, but died. I tried. Deuce knows as well that I'm very, very good at the whole
Helping people. in that sense.
helping people and reviving people. I hide because I'm scared and alone. But I usually am successful. I apologise, Jade
Yeah.
and Kyle.
Yeah.
Anyway, on that note, I'm talking about Fortnite now on a podcast.
But yeah,
thing, so I shut up.
on that note, it's been a good session tonight. We've gone an hour and a half tonight, so we've done a little bit
Wow.
longer, which is fine.
Well.
Reviving each other on Fortnite's always intimate, Kez, always. But yeah, so that was a bitching hour. It was bitching 90 minutes
Hour and a
nearly,
bit.
but yeah, episode 2. We'll be back in another 2 weeks. Maybe sooner. I don't know. Probably another 2 weeks.
We should be looking at getting some guest stars in at some point.
I was going to speak to you about that, about our first one. I think our first one will be in the next 2 weeks.
Perfect.
And yeah,
So stay tuned for that.
stay tuned
Watch
for
this
our
space.
first guest star. Watch this space. And we will be, if you can see the email down below, if you've got anything that you want that person to answer or talk about,
Yes.
please email in, send us
Insubordinate
messages.
and Cares, I have seen some of your messages personally today. Please pop them on the email.
Please.
Because I just come here and talk and drink alcohol. Bams is the ringmaster and kind of tells me what to do. So please send it to the email so that I don't have to think. That'd be nice.
Basically. So what she's saying is she wants you to email in so that I can sort it out, and she just has to sit there and look pretty. Basically.
Well, I'll drink beer. I don't always
Drink
look pretty,
beer and
but-
look pretty.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, thank you to anyone who's been in the chat. Thank you to our new
Thank you.
followers. Yeah, it's been a blast. And we will see you in 2 weeks' time.
See you in 2 weeks.
Peace out, bitches.
Bye.
Bye.
Funhouse active, king of the palace, rubber like Malcolm, ball up fist in the air to the flashlight, yeah, hands up in the air that they gun me down. I keep it on it, they crunching the numbers, I'm getting wild. Young nigga got a fetish for success. If I ain't next, and I just leave impression. Next to rain on the window pane, puffy plain Jane. Let them second guess me, wanna cop the Porsche with the porcelain skin. Grip the wheels.